Because the more eyes that see it, the better opportunity somebody has to just randomly pick up on that game and say, that's really cool, I want to publish that. I think, like just pretty much everybody, I just had an idea for a game. I've been a creative person. I used to write a lot and really got into board games and suddenly wanted to make my own board games. So just started from scratch just like everybody else, just learning and starting with a really terrible prototype at first and then moving on from there. So I got very lucky at the very beginning, just with finding publishers that ended up being friends, right? And that's not always the case. But what I would give myself advice for, and anybody that's doing this, is I would start by really focusing on meeting people, right? Had I been doing the things that that I should have been doing early in my career, I probably could have expedited everything much faster. So that means not being afraid to contact publishers through social media. That means being out there and open about your designs, showing off what you have. Because the more eyes that see it, the better opportunity somebody has to just randomly pick up on that game and say, that's really cool, I want to publish that. The good thing is I really like board games. So really, if you want to get into the industry, you should really actually enjoy what you're doing, because you'll be sticking with a lot of people who really like to do it. And they can see through it really quickly if you're just kind of false. So for me, it was more like I, I liked it. I found people who also did like this. And then just publishers are like normal people. Like people have to remind me, like some of my favorite designers, I have to remind myself that they're also just normal people too. And so they're really happy when you say, oh, I really like this thing. You can even start off by just saying something really nice about them. And that can just go down into a normal conversation. Even sitting down and playing games with a publisher, it just for no reason is awesome. And it just puts you in a situation where you're just being yourself and there's no pressure. And that's always been the best for me. It's like actually being like, I'm wearing a tie now and that feels weird. So when I don't do this, I have a much better rapport with everybody. You have to have an ego, you really do, but you have to get over your ego when it comes to the game design itself. Because it's not about your vision, right? It's about like what makes the game the best. And really, people aren't just trying to bash your game or make it into something it's not. They're looking to help. And so being dismissive or not looking at somebody while they're giving feedback, like being like this or whatever, that's really, you can really tell that someone is not paying attention or dismissing you. And so taking every bit of feedback and doing the best you can to integrate it into something, it really just, it works. And I think a lot of new designers just, they want to say it's right and it's perfect, but it's not. And it really isn't. And you should. And my biggest advice for new designers is throw out your first design. If it's your baby, it's probably really bad. Like the second or third design. My first published game was my fifth design. So if you have the time, just throw out a few, and it'll be really, really helpful, because you'll feel bad later whenever you realize that it actually was really bad. Make a decision, like make a firm decision as to what you want to do. I think when I went to my first one, I think I did it right. I said I want to publish it this year, and if I don't get it into the hands of a publisher that's going to publish it this year, I'm going to self-publish it by the end of the year. And I didn't even know about Kickstarter or any of these crowdfunding platforms at the time that are so popular now. I just knew that I was going to get it out some way. So if you really are looking to get it into a publisher's hands, just do it. And that's really getting over that first hump is really important. Because even if you think your game's perfect, it's never perfect. So get it into as many people's hands as possible, get as many eyes as possible, because hopefully a publisher contacts you. Hopefully it's because of they just happen to play it because you've been so open in playing it. But it just really helps to be out there and open and talking to people. And so just get it out there. That's it.